There is an outstanding debt owed to you, an unpaid account, something that was unjustly taken from you, leaving a void you carry to this day, even as you pretend you've moved on. It may have been love, it may have been opportunity, it may have been peace, it may have been trust, it may have been time, it may have been dignity, but it was taken, and you never got it back. Until now, because 2026 is not just any year, it is the year of great restitution. The year when the universe settles, accounts with those who had something unjustly taken from them and were never compensated. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That thing you lost, that completely changed the trajectory of your life, that forced you to rebuild from scratch, that left marks that no one sees, but that you feel every day. You may have made peace with the loss. You may have learned to live without it. You may even have grown because of it. But that doesn't change the fact that something was taken from you that should never have been taken. And the universe knows this, and it's preparing its return. I'm not talking about recovering exactly what you lost. I'm talking about something much deeper. I'm talking about restitution that takes into account not only what was taken, but everything you lost by losing it. All the experiences you didn't live, all the opportunities you didn't have, all the development that was interrupted, all the unnecessary suffering you had to go through alone. 2026 brings back not only what was taken, it brings complete compensation for everything that loss caused in your life. Can you feel that something is being prepared specifically for you, something that will finally fill that void that nothing has been able to fill until now? What I'm about to reveal will completely change your perspective on everything you've lost and everything that's coming. The universe operates on a system of perfect balance. When something is unjustly taken from you, not as a consequence of your own poor choices, but actually taken by circumstances, people, or forces beyond your control, an energetic imbalance is created, and this imbalance cannot exist indefinitely. The universe eventually needs to restore balance, and 2026 marks the point where multiple cycles of restitution converge simultaneously. Think of 2026 as the year when various cosmic debts come due at the same time. People who had things taken from them in 2016, 10 years ago. People who lost things in 2019, 7 years ago. People who had experiences interrupted in 2021. All these different cycles of loss are converging to a single point of collective restitution, and you are part of it. Your specific loss, no matter when it happened, is on the cosmic radar for compensation in 2026. And do you know how you can be sure of that? You are here. You found this message right now at this specific moment before 2026 begins, because your consciousness is being prepared to receive what is coming. This is not a coincidence. It is part of the preparation process. The universe doesn't give things back to people who aren't ready to receive them. So if you are being alerted now about restitution, it's because you are entering the final stage of preparation to receive. For those who have had love taken away, whether through betrayal, death, abandonment, or circumstances that separated you from someone who truly mattered, 2026 brings back not necessarily the person, but the capacity to love and be loved deeply that you thought you had lost forever. It brings back the opening of the heart that was closed when you were hurt. It brings people into your life who will treat you the way you should always have been treated. The restitution of love is not about going back to the past. It's about finally experiencing the kind of love that was denied you. For those who have had opportunities snatched away, the job unjustly lost, the business sabotaged, the promotion stolen, the chance that never came due to circumstances beyond their control, 2026 brings doors that will open so spectacularly that they will compensate for all those that were slammed in their face. And these opportunities will come loaded with everything you would have gained if the previous ones hadn't been taken away. They won't just be new chances, they will be accelerated chances that put you exactly where you would be if nothing had been interrupted. For those whose health has been stolen, whether physical, mental, or emotional, by toxic situations, people, or environments that drained their vitality. 2026 marks the year of complete recovery. Not just returning to your previous state, but achieving a level of well-being you've never experienced before. The body heals, the mind reorganizes, emotions balance, and you discover that you had within you a capacity for resilience and renewal that was just waiting for the right conditions to manifest. For those whose peace has been taken away, who have lived for years in anxiety, fear, insecurity, or chaos, because something fundamental has been destabilized in their lives, 2026 is the year when you finally breathe without that weight on your chest. When you sleep soundly without nightmares or worries gnawing at your mind. When you wake up without that feeling of undefined dread. The peace that returns is not the absence of problems. It's an inner foundation so solid that external problems can no longer destabilize you. But regardless of what specifically was taken from you, everyone will experience the same central phenomenon in 2026. The visceral feeling that finally life is being fair to you, that you are no longer fighting against invisible currents, that things are flowing in your favor instead of against you, that you are being supported instead of sabotaged. This feeling doesn't come from blind optimism. It comes from concrete and tangible changes in your reality that you will be able to see, touch, and experience directly. Here's something crucial you need to understand about how this restitution will happen. It won't be obvious at first. There won't be a cosmic announcement saying, now you're getting back what you lost. It will begin with small changes, small synchronicities, small openings. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss the first signs and lose the entire window of opportunity. The first 3 months of 2026 will function as a testing and preparation phase. The universe will send smaller opportunities, seemingly casual encounters, sudden ideas, unexpected invitations. These are not the main rewards. They are tests to see if you are ready to receive them. How you respond to these small openings will determine the magnitude of what comes next. If you ignore the small signs, the bigger ones may be redirected to when you are more attentive. But if you are paying attention, if you are following your intuition when it pushes you in certain directions, if you are saying yes to opportunities that call to you even when they don't make immediate logical sense, if you are allowing connections to form instead of blocking them out of fear based on past experiences, then you are positioning yourself to receive the full wave of restitution when it comes in full force starting in April 2026. And when it comes with force, you'll know, because it will be a period where things happen at a speed and magnitude that defies normal explanation, where you will move from one state to another so quickly that it will seem unreal, where in a matter of weeks or months you will recover ground that would take years to cover under normal conditions. This is not magic, it's accelerated compensation. It's the universe paying compound interest on the debt it owed you. But here's where most people miss out on restitution, even when it's offered. They don't believe they deserve it. They've been so conditioned by loss, so used to not having, so convinced that good things don't happen to them, that when compensation arrives, they reject it, they sabotage it, they question it, or they simply don't see it because their mental filters don't allow them to process positive realities. You need to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally to receive, and that means dismantling the beliefs you've built about yourself based on what has been taken away. If you've lost love and built the identity of an unlovable person, you need to start dismantling that now. If you've missed opportunities and convinced yourself that nothing works for me, that belief needs to be questioned and dissolved. If you've lost health and internalized the identity of a sick person, you need to start seeing yourself as someone in the process of complete healing. Because here's the truth, the universe can't give you back what you don't believe you can have. Not because the universe is limited, but because you will reject or destroy what you receive if you don't think you deserve it or that it's possible. So part of preparing for 2026 is inner work to rebuild your self-image from someone who had something taken away to someone who is about to receive full compensation. And do you know what the most beautiful part of this restitution is? It doesn't just give you back what you lost, it gives you something even better. Because you are no longer the same person you were when the loss happened. You have evolved through suffering. You have developed abilities you didn't have before. You have gained wisdom that only comes through pain. So when the compensation arrives, it meets a more developed version of you, creating possibilities that wouldn't exist if you had never lost anything. It's as if the universe temporarily took something from you so that you could develop the qualities necessary to deal with something much bigger. And now that you've developed those qualities through absence, you can receive presence multiplied. The person who lost love and developed inner strength can now have a love that weak people could never sustain. The person who lost opportunities and developed creativity and resilience can now seize opportunities that people who never lost anything wouldn't be able to maximize. So the loss wasn't in vain. It wasn't just random cruelty. It was forced preparation for something greater that was meant for you, but that you weren't ready to receive when the loss happened. And 2026 marks the point where the preparation is complete and the delivery can finally take place. Now you might be wondering, why 2026 specifically? Why not before? Why not after? The answer has to do with universal cycles that are beyond individual comprehension, but affect everyone. Certain energetic alignments only happen at specific times. Certain conditions need to be present for mass restorations to occur, and 2026 represents a rare convergence of these conditions. Think of 2026 as a cosmic window opening to allow accumulated imbalances to be corrected en masse. It's not that the universe didn't want to correct them before, it's that conditions didn't allow it, but now they do. And throughout 2026, this window will be wide open, allowing compensatory flows to reach those who have outstanding debts with the universe. And you have credits, big credits, not just for what was taken, but for how you dealt with the loss. Every tear you cried alone counts. Every time you stood up when you had every right to stay down counts. Every moment you chose to keep trying when it would have been easier to give up counts. All the suffering you endured with dignity counts. And all of this is accumulating in a cosmic account that will be paid in 2026 with interest. But you need to be positioned to receive, and positioning doesn't just mean waiting passively. It means being active in your life, creating conditions for good things to come in. It means keeping your spaces physical, emotional, mental, open, and organized. It means not being so consumed by dramas and toxic situations that there's no room for anything new. It means having some level of basic stability that allows you to recognize and seize opportunities when they arise. If you're in total chaos, working only for immediate survival, you may not have the mental and emotional bandwidth to perceive and appreciate what's being offered. So part of the preparation is bringing some level of basic order to your life in the months leading up to 2026. It doesn't have to be perfection, just enough stability so you have room to breathe and see beyond immediate urgencies. And here's something that will give you hope. You're not alone in this. Millions of people around the world have outstanding debts with the universe. And 2026 will be a year where many will simultaneously experience these payoffs. You'll start seeing stories of people whose luck has dramatically changed, people who finally got what they'd been searching for years, people who healed from things considered incurable, people who found love after thinking they'd never find it again, people who succeeded after years of failure. And these stories won't be rare exceptions, they'll be observable patterns. It will become clear that something different is happening in 2026, something that can't be explained by individual effort or random luck alone. It will be a collective wave of restitution that will touch countless lives simultaneously. And you will be a part of it. But even knowing that restitution is coming, you still need to do your part. You still need to act. you still need to choose. You still need to be willing to step out of the comfort zone built around your loss. Because the comfort zone is treacherous. Even when it's built around negative things, it still feels familiar and safe. And you may find that you're afraid to get back what you've lost, because it means leaving behind the identity built around the absence. You may have become accustomed to being the person who was betrayed, the person who lost, the person who was left alone, the person who never had any luck. And when compensation comes, it will require you to let go of those identities and adopt a new one. The person who received back, the person who was compensated, the person the universe favored. And this identity transition can be more challenging than you imagine. That's why psychological preparation is as important as practice. Start now by imagining yourself as someone who has what was taken from them. Visualize your life with that void filled. Feel what it would be like to wake up every day with that restitution already achieved. Practice the feeling of having instead of lacking. Because when the real compensation arrives, you will need to be able to sustain it. And you can only sustain what you have already practiced maintaining in your mental and emotional field. And if you're feeling resistance even now, reading about the possibility of recovering what you've lost, pay attention to this. This resistance is real and needs to be worked on. It may stem from fear of being disappointed again. It may stem from shame about what happened. It may stem from unprocessed anger about the original injustice. Whatever the source, this resistance needs to be acknowledged and gently dissolved before 2026 arrives in full force. You might also be wondering, what if I've already moved on? What if I've already rebuilt my life without what was taken away? Do I still need to receive it? The answer is yes. Because moving on doesn't eliminate the cosmic debt. You may have learned to live without it, but that doesn't mean you don't deserve to receive it back. In fact, the fact that you've moved on and rebuilt shows exactly why you're ready to receive. Because you won't depend on what you receive, you'll only expand what you've already built. And restitution can come in unexpected ways. You may have lost a romantic relationship, but compensation may come through a circle of deep friendships that fills that need for connection in a way that a single relationship never could. You may have missed a career opportunity, but compensation may come through a vocation that reveals itself and is much more aligned with who you truly are. The universe is creative in how it compensates. It's not always equal, but it's always fair in its total value. Now let me prepare you for something important. When restitution begins to manifest concretely in your life, you may feel a strange mix of emotions. Obvious joy, yes, but also sadness for the version of yourself that has suffered for so long. Belated anger about the fact that you had to wait so long. Fear of losing again what you are getting back. All these emotions are normal and valid. Allow yourself to feel them without judgment. Getting something back doesn't erase what you experienced without it. You'll still carry the scars. You'll still have the memories. You'll still be marked by the experience of loss. But now those marks will exist alongside the experience of restoration. And that combination of having known both loss and recovery will give you a depth and wisdom that people who have never lost anything can't achieve. You will become someone who deeply values what you have because you know what it's like not to have it. Someone who understands fragility and therefore treats precious things with care. Someone who can help others who are experiencing loss because you know both the side of absence and the side of restitution. Your complete experience, not just the loss, not just the recovery, but the entire cycle, will become your greatest source of wisdom and strength. So, 2026 isn't just about getting back. It's about integrating your entire story. What you had, what you lost, how you survived without it, and what you receive back transformed into a coherent narrative that makes sense and empowers you instead of diminishing you. It's about finally being able to look back and see purpose, where before you only saw injustice. It's about transforming trauma into triumph and pain into power. And when 2026 ends, when you're on the other side with your full restitution realized, you'll look back and realize that every moment of suffering, every tear, every struggle, every moment where you almost gave up but didn't, all of that was part of a much bigger story that you couldn't see when you were in the middle of it. And you'll be grateful. Not grateful for the loss itself, but grateful for having become who you are through the whole process of losing and gaining. Share in the comments simply, 2026 is my year. 3 simple words that mark your intention to fully receive the restitution that is coming, that affirm your readiness, that declare to the universe that you are awake, conscious, and prepared for what is being prepared for you. This is your year of restitution, the year where the universe finally pays what it owes you, the year where you recover not only what you lost, but also make up for all the time you lived without it. The year where cosmic justice manifests concretely in your life. Prepare yourself, open yourself, believe that you deserve it, and receive with both hands everything that is coming to you in 2026. Subscribe to the channel because throughout 2026, I will be providing specific guidance on how to recognize the different stages of restitution, how to maximize every opportunity that arises, how to process the complex emotions that come with recovering what was lost, and how to integrate everything into a renewed and complete life. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any crucial guidance.